Hey insurance! This is Tony Cañas, Chief Motivational Officer at Insurance Nerds and a PNC Client Advisor at the Jacobson Group. And today I am coming to you from Hartford, Connecticut, where I am traveling, visiting clients. Today I want to talk to you about CPCU. And this will be the first of many videos about CPCU. As if you're familiar with me, I am a CPCU fanatic, and I've been a CPCU fanatic for many, many years. So I want to kind of start at the start. I want to start today with telling you why you should do your CPCU, okay? And there are many, many, many reasons why. But first, let's quickly talk about what exactly is a CPCU. CPCU, the letters stand for Chartered Property Casualty Underwriter. And it is kind of like a master's degree in insurance. It'll be a self-study. And it is no longer exclusively for underwriters. It truly is a general, the big granddaddy of insurance designations. And it's a general PNC insurance designation. And basically, it's been around for 75 plus years. We just celebrated the 75th year anniversary of the CPCU Society. And so why should you go ahead and get your CPCU if you work within PNC Insurance? Well, here's 11 reasons why. Number one, you gain the knowledge that you need to understand the industry, which will accelerate your growth. You won't become an expert in anything, but you will. The CPCU proves that you will teach you the broad 40,000 foot view of the overall PNC industry. It'll give you a much better understanding of the overall industry, regardless of whether you're new or whether you've been here for a long time and know an area of the industry really well. Once you finish CPCU, you will know the entire industry at a pretty base level. You won't be an expert in any specific field, but you'll know a lot about a lot when it comes to property casualty insurance, and that'll be really helpful as you continue your career within PNC. Number two, you get access to the CPCU Society, both locally and nationally. And the CPCU Society opens amazing opportunities for networking and for further growth. I have been involved with the Iowa CPCU Society, which is gigantic, the Columbus CPCU Society, the Phoenix CPCU Society, the San Francisco CPCU Society, and the Atlanta CPCU Society. I've been a member of those. And also I've been involved with the National CPCU Society. And in many cases, CPCU is just a fantastic networking opportunity. Whatever region you're in, and if you can attend some of the national events, it'll really help broaden your network beyond the company that you work for. Number three, only somewhere around 4% of PNC insurance professionals hold their CPCU. So very quickly, you can catapult yourself to the top echelon of PNC insurance professionals when it comes to their level of education. Now, education doesn't replace experience. Let's be very clear on that. But having the education in hand does help the experience come faster. Does help the experience be more meaningful as it comes. Number four, it opens the door to promotions and new positions. Basically, getting the interview for that next role that you're interested in is easier when you have CPCU in hand. It can really get you a seat at the table. Number five, the average CPCU is 54 years old. Now this number itself is a few years old. I haven't asked the society for an updated number for 3 or 4 years, but still, with the average CPCU being 50 some years old, and the average insurance professional being 50 some years old, a young CPCU is a very, 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 very valuable thing. So if you're early in your career, you really can't go wrong by doing CPCU, basically. Young CPCUs are in very high demand, and CPCUs overall are in very high demand. I don't know a single CPCU who's unemployed. Some are in the middle of a transition, but it's CPCUs, there's no unemployment among CPCUs, basically. Number six, many of the local CPCU societies are looking for young talent for their board of directors, and that gives you lots of opportunity for leadership. So there's giant chapters like Central Iowa and Central Illinois, where it might be hard to quickly walk your way into the board. But in many other chapters, you could be vice president like your second year, and this is good for you because this is a great way to get that leadership experience that you need in order to get that manager role and to get out of the we won't give you an interview for the manager role because you have no leadership experience, but we won't give you any leadership experience because we won't give you the manager role conundrum. So this is a great way to get around that is by becoming active in the local chapter and getting leadership experience there. Number 7, the whole program costs somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000. There's a very good chance your company will pay for it. And even if they won't, there are some scholarships and stuff. But the biggest thing is it is much less costly than an MBA, which would be kind of the equivalent. So really, it is a fantastic, even if you're doing it out of pocket or partially out of pocket, it is a fantastic investment. Number 8, there's a very good chance that your company, if you work for a carrier or a large broker, there's a very good chance that your company will pay 100% of the cost of the program. There's a good chance that they'll pay for the trip to the annual meeting, and some companies even give bonuses as you pass some tests and when you complete the program. So either way, it'll pay off. And even if none of that were true, CPCU pays off. Number 9, CPCU shows a real commitment to the P&C industry, and so companies are much more likely to take a risk on you if you've shown a commitment to the industry. CPCUs don't leave the industry. If you've shown a commitment to the industry, companies are much more likely to take a risk on you and give you that interview for the next role. Especially in the entry levels, a big problem that we have with insurance is people who haven't yet committed to staying in the industry. By getting your CPCU, you show that you most definitely have that commitment, and you make it more likely to get the nod for that stretch assignment you're trying to get. Number 10, according to surveys done by the Institutes and the CPCU Society, and again, this survey is a few years old, the average CPCU makes 29% more than the average non-CPCU with the same job title. So there's a real difference there. 29. Imagine making 30% more than you're likely to make without the CPCU, even in the same job title. And that doesn't even count the fact that you're likely to be at a higher job title because of CPCU. And number 11, our very unscientific research at Insurance Nerds has found that doing CPCU early in your career can make you as much as $1 million over the course of your career. And I will include the link to that article and my fussy math there with this video. And I'm at the 8-minute mark, so I've got about a minute to go. Basically, quite simply, if I had a single piece of advice for any young property casualty insurance employee at any company, especially on the carrier side, they used to say, "Go west, young man." I'm going to paraphrase that by saying, young man or young lady, young professional, go CPCU. You will not regret it, I guarantee it. And when you do finish your CPCU, go to the annual meeting, or now called Into Risk. And when you do, look me up. I'll be the crazy guy wearing the Superman shirt. I'll look forward to meet you. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed the videos, please click the subscribe button. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button. If you're watching this on LinkedIn or on Facebook, go over to YouTube, search for the Insurance Nerds and the Insurance Nerdery, and like our channel so that you never miss one of our videos. TC out.